দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছি আমি নবিলা হাসান। আর আজকে আমাদের অতিথি বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত জার্মানির রাষ্ট্রদূত হিজ এক্সেলেন্সি ডক্টর আলব্রেক্ট কনসে। Very welcome, Your Excellency, at Diplomatic Zone.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be with RTV tonight.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
So you are here as an ambassador of Germany. So would you please explain your experience here in Bangladesh?
I've arrived at Dhaka in August last year, so I'm in my second year now on this posting. And the first thing I must say is that I have never spent a boring day in your country.
Okay.
It is a very, very exciting place to live and work.
Okay, and Bangladesh and Germany actually enjoy excellent bilateral relationship. So how do you anticipate this relation developing further in these coming days?
We have already come a long way over the past 42 years, having been one of your first clearly declared friends from independence. This has never been troubled by any event, so I would say it's a very sound and well-established friendship based on mutual respect and also compassion. Germans take quite an interest in what is happening in Bangladesh, and you are considered as being one of the countries that now has a chance to find its way out of poverty and to become an important new industrial player, an important new emerging economy, which of course opens new possibilities for German industry. So I believe that in the coming years our relations will become even stronger because we are so complementary.
Yes.
And not only with regard to trade, but also with regard to investment, I hope. There are still some issues, we can come to that later. But also with the enormous interest of the young generation of Bengalis who would like to study in Germany.
Yes,
that is a very recent phenomenon, and we can also dwell a little further on that one.
Huge amount of students actually studying there. So is there any more possibilities or any advice you can share with them?
Well, we now have a very well-established information database, if you like, on our Facebook site. So I can only recommend to all those who are interested in studying in Germany to become my embassy's Facebook friends. They will get a lot of advice there. We have more and more possibilities here also to study German in town. Although not enough yet, in Chittagong we also have a German-speaking outset, but elsewhere in the country that is still missing. The demand is enormous, so I very much hope that the offer in terms of language teaching will also improve soon. Now, my embassy is very busy with checking all the applications and getting the student visas done on time, which they will use in order to bring their own country further to a bright future and to a better, let's say, economic level. So I think the potential is huge, and we are all determined to make it happen.
Okay, and let's talk about the, we know the German government is one of the long-standing development partners of Bangladesh. Could you please elaborate on Germany's aspect, like current development priorities in Bangladesh?
Well, thank God we are after the period where everything in Bangladesh was a question of survival. Hunger is not the first issue anymore. Now I think development is, and for development you need energy. So the notorious energy shortages in this country are something we are addressing in our cooperation with Bangladesh. By various means, we are financing new power stations, preferably based on gas, because that is environmentally the most friendly way of developing your own energy base. Germany's help is very much instrumental in that great program.
Yes, definitely a great program, solar energy, right?
Yes.
So in your view, what the major achievements actually Bangladesh has made so far?
The major achievement really is that you have started to leave behind poverty. If one looks back 20, 30 years, your country had maybe only half the population it has now, but people were hungry and people were starving. That is not your first problem anymore, and I think that is the result of enormously hard work of your from the oldest to the youngest generations in your country.
Good governance is actually related to like political situations. Right now, we have coming actually very soon there will be election. This is election period right now. So do you think our ongoing political could harm relationship between these two countries, Germany and Bangladesh?
I don't think so. We have been friends when you had successive military governments, military coups, when you had one party, a caretaker government, a military dictator, another party. That has never affected the basis of our friendship.
That never affected.
However, of course, we want to assist you as much as we can in getting, let's say, a more reasonable, to come towards a more reasonable way of dealing with your democracy, of changing power, of going through this always very tumultuous year of pre-election and post-election time. There's no law of nature that says that once in 5 years Bangladesh must go through a difficult year. Why should that be so? I think there's really room for improvement, and if we can be of help, then of course we are ready to.
We were talking about good governance, so this is a very important issue in Bangladesh. So how Germany view this?
Well, we are not trying to accuse, we are trying to help. That is much more useful. And we are helping in two ways, in a very concrete manner. Your prisons are overcrowded. And of course it's a punishment already to be in prison. But when you are in prison, it doesn't mean that you should have the worst living conditions ever. So basic living conditions in prisons are a field where Germany is assisting your prison services. And we have achieved some improvement in this respect. That's one part. Another one is our assistance to the Anti-Corruption Commission. Okay. Of course, we've been shocked, as all Bangladeshis lately, that there has been an attempt to curtail the powers of the Anti-Corruption Commission by a new law which privileges one small part of the population with regard to everybody else. And this has now unfortunately been signed into law, so we don't know whether we can continue to support the ACC. But the work they have been doing ever since they have been founded, I think, has been very, very important for this country. And many Bangladeshis have pinned their hopes on this commission, as on the other new commissions, in order to improve governance. So it is very unfortunate when you have backlashes, such as the one we've just had. I hope that this isn't the last word, and the ACC can come back soon in its full rights.
Let's talk about some other issue, like how does the German government ensure the gender equity in these different programs?
I don't think we need to do much for ensuring that. It is perfectly normal for us to hire women just as much as men. It depends on the qualification, and of course we are careful to give chances to women when they are well qualified, and when we see that maybe they do not come forward as much as we would like them to come forward. But in all our projects and programs, very often, even in the leading roles, you will find women.
Yes, that's really great. Sounds good, actually. And let's talk about the RMJ sectors. Like last incident, in Rana Plaza incident, all over the world headlines, it was headline stories, actually. Do you believe that responsible parties will finally wake up and enforce adequate changes?
This is a very complex and complicated issue, but I will try to simplify it. I think we all understand that without the ready-made garment industry, Bangladesh would not stand economically where it stands now. Yeah. For the time being, and maybe for another 10 or 15 years, this is your most important industry.
Very important, yeah, exactly.
Now, very many new people who have come even from villages, who have had a small workshop somewhere, have turned into garment producers. Very many of them still lack the education and the experience to understand that industry is not just about making money, but industry is also about respect for the people you're working with.
Yes.
Yeah? Where we are irritated in the West right now, and in Germany in particular, that is because of attitudes that we see here. That is why it's so important that the BGMEA president has just come to Germany to a conference where he will be exposed to many questions And I know that the BGMEA leadership has understood all these issues. That will be a long process, and of course the absolute priority is now safety after Tazreen and Rana Plaza. That is why we are very much pushing for the inspectors, the controllers to be in the factories, not just a few as we had before, but the controllers, they need to be trained.
Yes, trained, give them more education and
Yes.
like proper and safety training. Lots
Yes.
of things are related
And
to
give
this.
them enough of a salary
Yeah,
so they are
like-
not tempted
Yes,
to
right now they are protesting for the minimum wages in Australia. This unrest situation. So what do you think about that?
I think the adjustment of the minimum wage was overdue. It was necessary because Bangladesh was trailing behind in the world comparison in the charts as the one country that paid least to the workers. So I think it's a good first step, but it's not the end of the story.
But if it is continuous, if it is in a regular basis,
Yes.
then how we will improve our reputation and attract foreign investment here?
Your reputation will already improve when this scandalously low figure is now out of people's minds. When it is 50 euros instead of 30 euros, excuse me for saying this in my currency, but that is what people perceive, of course. I think some of the criticism will have been met already. But the fire safety, the building safety, and of course the right to form trade unions, those remain issues where your country is exposed to international criticism. That is why the United States have suspended the GSP. That is why Europe has thought about suspending it. We haven't done it so far. We want to see more progress. So your reputation will come back when there are no more big accidents and when we have news reports about improvements in factories.
Now, even though these unrest situations might definitely create problem to invest here in Bangladesh. So
yes, but there are other problems too. I just had a meeting with the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry last night, and we all agreed that the investment climate was not good enough. There are other countries comparable to Bangladesh who seem to be more interesting than Bangladesh for foreign investors. So it is very easy for
them to switch. Actually, it's very easy for them to switch. Actually, so
no, the investor goes where conditions are best.
Definitely.
And if he has a choice between, let's say, Vietnam and Bangladesh, and he finds that in Vietnam he is more welcome,
Definitely,
and there's
they will
less
go
red
for that.
tape, and it takes less time to have a company registered, then he will go there. You see, but it would be easy. I think we have to wait for a new government now. That may modernize the Board of Investment. The Board of Investment is not the most modern institution of the world, I must say. I'm being very polite.
Your Excellency, we will talk on other issues after a short break.
Very good.
দর্শক দেখছেন আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। এই পর্যায়ে নিচ্ছে একটি বিরতি। আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকুন, ফিরছে একটু পরেই।